came back with a region championship under Coach Paige Taylor in 2016, 2017, 2019. The hand you hear is for the the suddenly taken ill fan in the stands. And Mark, you got to help me out here. I've been kind of filling some time, and it looks like we're gonna bring the teams back in. The officials are discussing it. Coach Gaddis, Tommy Lee, and the officials are coming together, and I think Matt Queener's going to go get and it's a long walk to the Bearden dressing room, not too.
Welcome to Exigent Sports. As you guys see, I got AC on. Go Mavs. We're going to hook them. Shout out to Coach Gillum and Coach Gary Terry. They sent me some more swag. And what can I say? I can appreciate that. I love the Maverick land. I love the Maverick land and everything that they do out there. Guys, another great show. I told you it's about that time. Media Day. Media Day interviews was amazing. We're excited to bring you all the interviews that we did. I think it was over 72 interviews I did. My arm was about to fall off. But an exciting day, a great event for the young student athletes and the coaches to talk about their teams, talk about what they want to do. So super excited for you to be able to watch the interviews that you may not have got to see. So great event there. But before we get started with that, the first thing I want to go to is our Priority 1 Athletics Bolo Player of the Week. Our Priority 1 Athletics Bolo Player of the Week is from Central, and she is a baller. Well, not only is she a baller, she is a real student athlete. And what can I say? Bella Collins. Bella Collins, congratulations for being our Priority 1 Athletics Bolo Player of the Week. Bella Collins, student athlete. Bella not only works hard on the field, she works hard in the classroom. She currently has a 4.3 GPA and is a stud in the middle infield. We love having Bella as our Bolo Player of the Week, and she is a brainiac. And go Bobcats. Shout out to Central Bobcats. They are just doing great things out there. Now I want to go to our Committed Player of the Week. Committed Player of the Week is from none other than Mavland. Go Mavs. Easton Beatty committed and signed today to go to Rome State. He's going to finish his academic and athletic career over there at Rome State, and we're super excited for Easton Beatty and all the things he's done. As a matter of fact, you stay tuned. We actually have him, I'm pretty sure, on one of these interviews. I got to meet Easton Beatty and talk to him. So congratulations to Mavland. Congratulations to Easton Beatty as our Committed Player of the Week. But I know what you're here for. Media Day. Media Day. Media Day interviews. Well, they're here, and they're ready. And we're going to start out with some of the players. What are they doing to work with the freshmen? Let's take it over right here, CJ.
You know, I think one thing for the freshmen is just the energy we bring, being leaders, helping them to realize that we're there for them, but also at the same time, you know, as the seniors, this is our team, and we got to be there for them.
Bring a lot of energy. We're a young team, like he said, and so building that foundation with them and just starting a path that they can follow for the rest of their high school career.
I'm just hoping to at least leave them with a few things of wisdom, maybe whether it's on the field or off the field, it doesn't matter.
Just show them how we roll here, and just show them how to compete and compete at this level.
I just feel like if they follow in the tracks of like the upperclassmen and continue to grow, that like we'll have a higher chance of like winning.
Lead by example. The only way you can lead is, well, there's multiple ways to lead, but my favorite way to lead is leading by example, setting the standard for the younger guys. So I showed them the pathway, I showed them the pathway, and they follow after me. So that's what I do.
I like helping the freshmen because when I was a freshman, like a lot of people had helped me, show me what to do, give me tips and stuff. I just help them with whatever they ask me to. If they come to me and they ask something, I just help them with it.
really the guys who want to get better freshman-wise, they'll come to you first. All the key players always come to you first. So whoever comes to me, I'm 100% wanting to help them out, always. Fielding, hitting-wise, just like mental-wise, because mental-wise for the game for freshmen, they always want to like stress, just helping people, like just help like the mental mind.
Just try to be a good influence religiously, and also just be a hard worker for them.
Just try to be supportive and just try to help them out in any way I can. Just give them good advice. Just try to be a leader and try to show them the right things to do. Be a leader.
Absolutely. Lead by example, by action, or words, or both? Both.
I just show them like what it's going to take to play at this level. You're not going to be able, in middle school and everything. They don't care. They're gonna be playing just for them. But at the high school level, you got to play for the team. And I'm trying to make that most apparent when I talk to them. I'm just trying to be a role model for them.
I mean, I just try to be nice to them, be a role model, kind of take them under my wing. I mean, I came in as an 8th grader, and I just remember the seniors who took me under their wing and made me feel really just a player with them and a part of the team. So that's just what I try to do to our underclassmen.
Usually I just try to support them, be as positive as possible, but also making sure I give them the criticism that they need to make the adjustment and get better overall.
Make them feel comfortable, let them know what's up, just help them out around, just help them out in general. If they have any questions, come to us, answer them.
I'm just going to be a leader, just show them the ropes, just show them how to do everything right, the right way, like just the fundamentals and all that.
Absolutely. What about you?
Just piggyback, make them feel comfortable, like make them know that like we're there for them for questions, because a lot of them are shy and stuff, so it's like they got to know to get out there and feel comfortable and ask us questions, because that's the only way. Like, we're only here for one more year, so and we have the most experience, so as long as they just ask us questions, and we'll help them out, we're there for them. So
just trying to get them to learn the ropes. They're doing a pretty good job of it. We're working well as a team right now, so it's looking pretty good.
Just help them as much as possible. If they have any questions about how we do stuff, like how we run the program, I help them out. Anytime they want to go hit after practice, I always go with them.
Just make sure to let them know that although it's early, they got a lot of time to get better, and just continue to keep working because they'll be here Sunday.
Getting them how we have a winning culture and showing them what winning's all about and showing them how to get there, and also help them and show them what we need to do to get better and get there as well.
I was a freshman last year. Freshmen are going to have ups and downs. Just trying to help them guide them through their freshman year, tell them what it's going to be about, and just help them out.
Really just try and make sure they follow along with everything. We're big on just changing the culture and make sure they just grab a hold of the ropes and just go with it.
It's to lead by example and just show them what Coalfield baseball is about, and not hold their hand, but definitely pat them on the butt even when they're struggling. Just keep their heads high because it's a long season.
I really just try to I try to help them. I help the coaches. If they don't know what to do, I usually try to teach them myself, because players, they listen to other players a lot better than coaches sometimes. I might teach it a little bit better than coach. They'll to their understanding.
I try to bring them up, have them bring energy to the team, because they might not see as much playing time as we do, but as long as they bring energy to the dugout and all that, that's all we need for them.
To guide, lead as an example, I guess. So even if that's just jogging on the field, listening to coach every time, just the little things to help them know that little things still matter. So I just try to lead by example.
You gotta get in the gym. You need to have a good foundation, because if you don't have a foundation, you can't do anything. And you just gotta teach them that they gotta work and actually want to be successful. They can't just come in and think it's just gonna get handed to them.
I show them the right way to do it. I take them under my wing, help them if they mess up a play. I tell them, hey, do this next time. But I'm nice with them. You don't yell at them.
Just set the standard and show them every day is you got to work hard to be good and play hard to be good.
Same thing, kind of like Mackay. Since we have one senior, kind of be a role model, set the standard, and just be there for them and bring energy.
We hype them up a little bit. We kind of, when we can, we help them as much as we can. It's just help them out a lot.
Give them pointers, make them feel at home, show that they're our teammates.
I think this year, just take the next step and be more competitive on the field. You know, we've already got the facilities up, and you know, we've got stuff to where people will want to come, and now the next step is just be more competitive on the field to get more people and bring the program to the next level.
I think it's really just setting an example, being a leader, not just like through your actions, but also through your words, just helping them to grow every day. You know, we've got a pretty young team, so I think mentoring those guys is going to be a big part of our success this year.
And I just try to help them grow in their faith, and I think faith is a big thing that helps us carry ourselves through the sport itself, and just really helps us grow individually.
I'm really just going to try to lead as best I can. I'm just trying to give them an example.
Just mentor them, keep them focused in the weight room, keep them focused at practice so they know what to do when game time comes.
I just know what it's like to be in their position. You know, it wasn't as welcoming when I was a freshman, so I kind of try and make it enjoyable, help them learn, make it fun for them.
You know, as a freshman, I wasn't welcome, like he said. I mean, I was a little smaller, so just try to let people know and you can get to the next level by just working hard and keeping your head up.
Just try and make sure we're all doing what we're supposed to be doing and just helping each other, making sure it's just a positive team so we can all get better ourselves.
Well, I actually got some of the infielders in a group. You know, we go about once or twice a week, take ground balls, try to keep them staying in the game and not just, I'm just going to stay at home and chill. So we don't really need to be doing that. We need to get ready for the season.
Make sure that you got to stay hard on them too. So, I mean, you got to be on them at all times in the weight room, especially because we had to run a couple times for skipping reps. So, I mean, you got to stay on them constantly just to get their stuff done and try to get bigger.
Stay, just like Colton said right here, just stay hard on them, make sure they're doing their job, and just have them learn from what we're doing.
Just, pick them up. It's hard being a freshman, so it's difficult adjusting to high school baseball. So just being that guy is kind of taking them under the wing and just telling them what I've learned over the past 4 years.
Picking them up for sure. We get competitive, but and we like to win and stuff, but there are times where we let ourselves and our teammates down. And I found that, the most useful thing to do in those moments is to, encourage them, let them know that, hey, we know the player you are, we know the athlete you are. You screwed up, it's not a big deal. But, that also means, in their bigger moments, the moments where they succeed, picking them up, letting them know, hey, this is awesome, this is the athlete you are. So stuff like that.
How amazing is that? See those kids picking up the freshmen. What are they doing to prepare the freshmen to come in and take over? And every last one of them was open arms, ready to go. I want to give you an update on the scores. It looks like Oak Ridge versus Bearden, 46-43. Oak Ridge leads. That's in the basketball tournaments. And then we also have Cofield leading Midway, 38-12. Those are the ladies playing. Excited for them. But I also got a chance to ask the coaches, what do they do to get the freshmen prepared?
Well, it all starts with those two guys that you talked to right there. We take a lot of pride in our program with our leadership, trying to pull those guys along. We talk about, hey, if you're going to hit in the cage, call up a young guy. If you're going to take ground balls on the field, call up a young guy to come with you. And that way, just kind of the cycle. As I say to our players and our coaches are kind of like guardrails. On the interstate, if we can keep those guys in between the lanes, that's my job. The best teams are player-led, not coach-led. So if those guys can lead our team, I'm just there to kind of navigate and it's kind of make sure they stay between and not get off and not have a wreck or something like that. I'm just there to guide them.
Well, I say, at AE, we have to play our freshmen. We're in a school, this year particularly, I got some guys coming in, two freshmen in particular, Namir Jackson and Jewels Houston. They're going to come in day one and be players for us. So I really don't have a time to wait for them. If you can play for us, you're going to touch the field day one. It's not JV, let me see how you look. No, if you can play, you're going to play. And so I think that's one of the great things about our program is that we're able to throw those young guys in the field early. And so you're talking about kids that's going to be 4-year starters for us by the time they hit their senior year.
Get them in the weight room day one. Teach them the importance of how important that is. Just kind of instilling in the culture. And to be honest with you, we try to create a culture where, obviously, as the head coach, I do that, but we want those guys doing it. Our upperclassmen are taking the role.
Well, there's a lot. I think the speed of the game, and that's for any sport. When you go from middle school to high school, the number one thing you see is the speed. So we're going to struggle early. The freshmen struggle early. That's their mindset. is they don't struggle a lot in middle school. Like, they're the best players on the field, and when they get to the high school, they're not that anymore. So I think mentally we try to prepare them for, failure's going to happen. How do you respond to that failure? And from there, they just got to show up to work every single day. And so far we've got probably 2 or 3 freshmen that's playing varsity for us right now, and they showed up every single day.
Well, we start by what our expectations are at school. You're a leader. People are looking at you. If you can lead in the classroom, you can lead on the field. So you got to get it straightened away there and make them understand that that's the priority. And then you get to play baseball. So we try to make sure that they're learning from our juniors and seniors, know what the expectations are, understand that, hey, your expectations raise a lot between middle school and high school. And as much as we'll give you a leeway and give you a little leash there if you can handle it.
I think from the start you got to make sure they know that they belong, they're welcomed, and they fit in with the team. And as soon as they start feel like they belong, they fit in, they're where they're supposed to be. We try to let our upperclassmen really be the ones who show how to do things and lead the way. But then just spending intentional time with them and just letting them know that you care about them is really the first step in trying to develop them.
Well, this year I've got a large group of freshmen. I think I have about 7 or 8 freshmen, and some of them can contribute to our team this year.
Well, the freshmen that come in see right away that we have a culture, and everybody's expected to be a part of that culture, and that's a big learning experience a lot of times for the freshmen coming in. But if you have good leadership and your seniors are leaders and your coaches are doing what they're supposed to do, then the freshmen catch on pretty quick to the culture, and they just kind of blend in and start to grow.
One good thing about Eagleton is we're a 6 through 12 school. So our middle school practices every day with our varsity. So this is the first year we've had seniors. So what our 6th graders see our juniors and seniors do, by the time they get to the 8th and 9th grade, they're ready. And that is one of the biggest things that attracted me to starting the program at Eagleton is we're 6 through 12. And I really believe having those young bucks with us all the time is going to speed up the process to get us where we need to be when it's time to be there. And I think having our middle school see our high school practice and be with me every day, they're ready when they're freshmen. So that's the biggest thing that I would say.
We've got a pretty big freshman class, and I think we're going to have an even bigger one next year. So yeah, and we've got a couple freshmen in here that will help us this year.
Our freshman guys, what we try to do is as soon as the season's over, after the senior year, after the seniors graduate, we try to get with our incoming freshmen and try to get them playing on our NABF team during the summer. And that's what we've started doing the past 3 or 4 years. We used to use NABF for our older kids, but now we've kind of brought in our younger kids and our incoming freshmen to get them more adjusted to high school ball and also to get them to be around some of our older guys as well. So we try to do that with them.
Luckily, like I said, we have 1 senior this year. We've got a handful of juniors, but a lot of freshmen, a lot of sophomore, a lot of 8th graders that'll make big impacts in the lineup. Luckily, some of these guys here, they've been starters for us for years. Mason Pike has been a starter since he was a freshman. So those guys know the standard. They know how all that goes and what path we got to go down to get to where we want to go. So it's good having those guys to help lead the way and set that bar for us. So it's not just always coming from me and the other coaches, because as we all know, a team-led, a player-led team is always a bigger impact.
So the biggest thing for me is that at first it's got to be the physicality. Once you see, hey, this kid has that ability, we try to put an emphasis on the weight room with them. If you want to be ready to play varsity baseball, we have to have you in the weight room. We have to get you stronger, because you are going to be 14 going up against an 18-year-old. Them understanding you have the talent, but you're probably not going to be ready. But you're going to be out there, and you have to have that confidence that you can do it. We trust you. That's why you're out there, keeping them confident, not letting them get down on themselves, and still growing. is the most important thing to me.
So for freshmen, obviously there's the two aspects of it. Physically, they got to develop and get stronger, and part of that is just time and nature, but part of that is being in the weight room and learning explosive movements and doing mobility work and things that they probably have not done in the past. And then the other preparation is mentally. The speed of the game is going to be very different. Even guys that have played, that are talented guys that have played at high levels, you're playing against high level at your age, and now you're playing 18-year-olds. So we try to put them in situations before the season starts where it is moving fast, in situations where it's okay to fail, so that we can, all right, here's what happened, here's how we got to fix it.
On day one, they've got to understand the off season is where everything happens. When it becomes the weight room to get bigger, faster, stronger, learning the routine of things. Like we talked about, there are seniors here, just having them, help them, lead them along the way of what they've been through the last 2 or 3 years. But that's detrimental. Learning the basics when we're, doing defensive work or the offensive side of things. Just learning from the older guys and seeing a lot of things, being a visual learner, and I think that's a huge aspect going forward for our young players.
I put more focus, on the JV schedule. Not more focus, even focus. We play a ton of JV games. I host the ATCBA JV tournament at Carnes. So for younger development, we got 2 teams. So when we do our district games, we're playing 5 and 7. Everybody's getting in. So both teams are playing, freshmen and JV. Hosting the ATCBA JV tournament's huge. Our guys get 5 games that week to just play. So on a normal year, our JV guys are going to get anywhere between 25 and 30 games as well. So we put a lot of emphasis on development just through playing, getting them out there, letting them be seen, letting them play together, letting them mesh. So younger development for us has been huge the last 2 years because, we have a young team. Got a ton of freshmen, got a ton of sophomores. So, having to put emphasis on that's been a big pillar of our program.
I think the first thing that we look at is what do they know coming in? A lot of our younger players have to adjust to the pickup on the speed of the game, which affects the level of understanding they have on baseball IQ. So we're trying to teach as much as we can. And luckily, we've got a good core group of older guys that have been through the ringer for many years that can help be an extension of the coaching staff during that time frame.
So we actually have 8th graders that play for us as well because we're all on one campus. So our biggest thing is with the young guys, we want to get them acclimated to the speed of high school baseball. It's different than playing middle school ball, or it's different than even playing rec ball or travel ball. The speed of the game is different. The way you play baseball in high school is different. So for us, we run a JV program. So our 8th graders, freshmen, and sophomores are the guys that make up that JV program. So they're going to have 10 to 15 games where they could be losing by 15, 20, and the juniors and seniors aren't going to come in and save them. They got to figure it out. The other thing is we practice all together as a group. So 8th graders through seniors, we have 1 practice time. Does that make our job as coaches harder? Sometimes it does. But also, those 8th graders and freshmen are going to elevate to the level of those juniors and seniors. And that's where I think our growth comes from, and where I've seen the most growth is those kids coming to practice day in, day out, seeing how the juniors and seniors operate, how they carry themselves. And then at the end of the year, they look up and go, this thing's not so hard. If I show up every day, if I put in the work, I have a chance to be a pretty good player.
Well, we still have holes, right? We still got guys, right? We still got guys. We got to fill spots and just kind of find some rotations. And I've got to do a good job balancing, getting guys in, protecting them early to kind of give them a chance to get some season and get some games under their belt, even though they're young. We're still young as a team overall. We got 3 seniors is all we have, and a lot of the guys I'm going to be relying on are still 15, 16 years old. So we're still babies overall. So there's a lot to that, right? That's what I was telling my coaching staff the other day. Coaching young players, you got to give them some grace, but you also have to teach them how to go about their business. So by the time they're 17 and 18, they know the ins and outs of how to prepare and how to go watch other players, how to scout other players, how to make adjustments on the fly, what they're doing, how do they pitch you, how are coaches attacking you and doing all those things, right? That's part of our process now. So that helps a 14-year-old, that helps an 18-year-old be ready for the next level or the postseason, really.
I try and get them plugged in really, really fast. I understand that they're going to make mistakes early on, and we kind of talked about this Saturday during our play day. The physical mistakes are going to happen. The mental mistakes are what I have a problem with. And JJ and Eli and William Eddings and Bokey and all those guys are going to impart their wisdom, the things that they've heard before, and they're going to tell them, look, we've been yelled at by Coach too, and it's just part of the deal. And I told them this Saturday too. It's not personal. It's part of the growth. I coach hard. That's the only way I know how to coach.
Well, they do play in middle school. It's not affiliated with the middle school with the state or nothing like that. But historically they played a lot of ball, and most of our guys obviously play travel ball, which is good. But when they get here, it's a big change for them. But the freshman group this year, they've adapted real well, and I've got some good young kids that's going to be helping us in the future for sure.
Yeah, I think it is just getting them used to the program really early on. Exposing them to the language that we use, the terminology that we use. We're lucky in that we get to have some 8th graders involved with our program as well, and so what we want for them is just expose them to the process, how we want to train, how we want to make our players better, and then so when they get into their later years, when they're playing and having an impact in the program, there's nothing that they're unfamiliar with. There's nothing that scares them, and they're just excited to have the opportunity to play. So for us, it's about just getting them out there, getting them involved, getting them around the older guys, because they do a fantastic job of leading and showing them the way that we do things.
Make this spring all about enjoying the experience. When you ride on your new Ferris commercial mower featuring patented suspension technology, you'll have more than freshly manicured grass. You'll experience productivity and comfort like never before. And because you won't be slowing down for those rough spots, you'll mow more lawn in less time. Ferris, experience suspension.
S.L. Bowman & Sons, 524 North Front Street in Rockwood.
Every woman deserves compassionate, quality care, no matter her income. The Free Medical Clinic provides free, comprehensive women's health, including mammograms, annual physicals, and pap smears, and includes an entire suite of primary and preventative care services, all at no charge. The Free Medical Clinic is providing peace of mind to the women who make our homes and businesses work. We keep you healthy. Go to fmcor.org. Because every woman deserves peace of mind knowing she has the medical care she needs, even if she can't afford it. fmcor.org.
Feeling overwhelmed with your business finances? At P&L Business Services, we handle all your bookkeeping, payroll, and tax needs. From federal tax returns to QuickBooks training, we've got you covered. With over 25 years of experience, we provide customized packages to fit your business. Focus on what you love most, building your business. Let us take care of the rest. Call 865-294-4792. P&L Business Services, empowering you to grow your business.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Commercial Metals Company. Turn that scrap into cash.
Welcome back, guys. How about those interviews? We also have some more interviews. I want to give you an update. I know a score for Oak Ridge Lady Wildcats versus Bearden. It is 53-51 with 30 seconds to go in the game. Very tight game. So, guys, that's the update for the basketball. While we was there at Media Day, I had a lot of questions, interviewed a lot of people. And I want to know who wants to take it to the next level. This is some of the answers we got from the players.
Yes, sir. I'm committed to Roan State.
Yes, sir. I'm currently committed to Roan State. Man, I love Coach Cam. Coach Cam, he's really helped me a lot. The way my visit went, it was actually really cool. So went there, got to tour facility, and actually the players got to walk you around. So you got to meet some of the players and stuff. So that was like really cool, and he's just a really good guy.
I'm hoping for a good season, hoping to play at the next level, yes, sir.
Yes, I'm going to Cleveland State.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How'd you make that decision?
Over the summer, they contacted me, and it just felt right. It seemed like they needed me to be on the staff, so I got there, going to camp, and just told the school, and it looked like they wanted me, so just made a decision from there. Yes, sir. I'm committed to Milligan University.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How'd you make the decision?
Just for me, the location, and also the
I want to go into engineering, and their program they have there for that was really good. So just being able to balance the two was big for me.
Right now, I have an offer from Bryan College. I really like the place, but I'm undecided. I want to see what God wants for me, so I'm weighing in all my options.
And it's my understanding that you're committed to go to Carcinoma?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I am.
How did you make that decision?
Well, it was honestly tough because, going to Fulton, we get free tuition at UT, and it was hard to pass that up, but I love the game too much to stop playing right now.
Yes, sir. I'm signed at Davidson College in North Carolina.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
What helped you make that decision?
Just prayed about it a lot, and considered all of the different things that different colleges offer, and decided to make the decision last year.
Yes, I could see myself playing the next level. Yeah.
If you can play for anybody, who would it be?
Probably UT. I'd like to play for UT, just be close to home.
You see yourself playing at the next level?
Yes, sir.
Are you committed?
Yes, sir.
Who are you committed to?
University of Tennessee.
Congratulations, kid.
Thank you.
How'd you make that decision?
It was pretty tough. Just a hometown kid, and it was just kind of my dream school ever since I was born, so just felt like home to me.
You see yourself playing at the next level?
Yes, sir.
Are you committed?
Yes, sir. I'm going to Tennessee Tech.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How'd you make that decision?
I went on a visit. I love the coaches. I love the environment right there. It felt like a great team. Everyone loves each other. It felt like a great place for me.
Do you see yourself playing at the next level?
Time will tell. Time will tell. I hope. That's the plan.
Do you see yourself playing at the next level?
Possibly.
If you could play for any team, what would it be? Who would it be?
Alabama.
Alabama? Do you have any offers now?
I have one.
You see yourself playing at the next level?
Yes, sir. I'm committed to play at the Citadel.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
How'd you make that decision?
I really like the location. It's in Charleston, South Carolina. And at the time, had a great connection with the coaches, and I just felt like that's where I wanted to be.
Possibly. If the Lord opened the door, then I'd possibly play at the next level, but for the most part, probably not.
What would you be doing if you wasn't playing baseball?
Pastoral ministry. So I hope so. Yeah, if it's the right place, if it's ultimately where God wants me and needs me to be, then yeah, I'm all for it.
Would it be basketball or baseball? Or do you play football as well?
I don't play football. I play basketball and baseball. It'd most likely be baseball out of the two. So.
I know two or three people that got drafted straight out of high school. Do you see anybody going to the MLB straight out of high school?
Yeah, I think I got one right to my left. I don't know, though. Maybe.
Do you have any plans to play at the next level?
Yes, sir. I'm going to Milligan University to play baseball, so.
You already committed?
Yes, sir.
Congratulations to that commitment. How'd you make that decision?
I went to a few places. It was a nice place, nice coaches, and they seemed like they truly cared about me as a player and as a person, so that's where I decided to go.
Well, I see some orange ice on you. Are you a fan of Tennessee, or what's that for?
Nah, I'm going to Tennessee.
You're committed to Tennessee?
Yes, sir.
How'd you make that decision?
I just sat down with my family, and I went to LSU and everything else, and then, I just felt right, and it felt like I needed to be here. So I just sat down with my dad and talked about it, and that's when I made the decision.
Well, I've talked about is Oak Ridge has a history of getting people going straight to the MLB. Have you heard any words of that for you?
Yeah, right now I'm supposed to go early second, late second round. So I'm trying to get it to first, but after that, I don't know.
Would that change your plans to going to college?
If I can get it to first, then maybe. But if it's still second, I'm going to college.
That's what I'm hoping to do. I think I can. I need to work a little bit harder at it, but that's the dream. Yes, sir.
If you can go to any school, which would it be?
I would have to say Tennessee. I'm not quite that good, but that'd be my dream school. Yes, sir, I do. I'm actually committed to Tennessee Wesleyan.
Congratulations on that commitment.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
How'd you make that decision?
It wasn't that hard of a decision. It's pretty close to Sweetwater. And just talked to my family, and they're a really good school. They're really good NAI school, and they're always in this national championship, so it was a pretty easy decision.
You never know. I'm taking one moment at a time this season, just trying to enjoy every moment and see what happens.
That's the goal right now. Like Asher said, I'm just taking it one day at a time, one moment. Just if it happens, it happens. Just try and get to the next level, grinding it out every day.
What a special opportunity. All those kids that are committed and those that are thinking about going to the next level, this is what Exigent Sports is about. We want to talk to the student athletes and give them insight, the parents, the players. What's it take to bridge the gap between greatness and the dream? And speaking of bridge the gap, I ask about what's it going to take to bridge the gap.
These guys know, they can come to me with anything. We talk a lot about recruiting. I bring them in. We talk to our counselors about making sure their grades are where they need to be, make sure their ACT scores are where they need to be. We talk about emails, what their email should look like if they want to email a coach, how they should reach out to them. They know I'm going to go to bat for them, but it means a lot if those guys can type up an email and it sound really, really good and send it to that coach, know they're vested in there. Hey, if I want to go to Carson Newman and Carson Newman's got my major, I want to maybe put that in my email. Hey, I love your education program because you got this. That coach is going to look at him and say, okay, this guy's done his homework. So we talk a lot about that, and we've got some guys that are going to get some opportunities at the next level. I got a few more seniors that are going to, by the time the year's over with, they're going to get, we may have 5 or 6 guys out of this class to be able to go play at the next level. So I think that alone shows our young guys coming in, these freshmen and sophomores, it's possible. There is somewhere for me to play if I really want to play.
First off, I always tell the kids that you guys are student athletes, so you got to be a student first before any of that other stuff can come. Really then just talking to them about their goals. What do they see for themselves in the future? If it is the game of baseball, then let me give you a realistic evaluation of what that looks like, starting to get you introduced to one and become familiar with some of these college programs, making sure that you got the proper grades that you need, and then just exposing you to what that looks like.
Well, the first thing you got to do is you got to take care of the stuff in the classroom. I mean, that's what coaches ask. They don't say how fast does he throw. They say what's his GPA, what's his class schedule, can he manage a class load, and after that, it's all about just work. Like they want guys. Again, you can have the best stats in the world, but unless you just, I don't know, the bridge the gap, that's a great question, and I haven't thought of it, and quite honestly, we've not had any guys go on to play the next level. We're trying to build that. It's my first year. I can't name you the last time we've had a college player. So that's what we're trying to do, and it's just work. And I know that's a generic type answer, but you just got to work every single day and get a little bit better every single day and take care of the stuff in the classroom. Well, I know a lot of the college coaches around. I played at Walter State and Carson Newman, so I know most of the junior college coaches, all the D2, D3 coaches all around here. So we stay in communication. I know what they're looking for, what they need for the next couple years, and what if they'll fit that system or not. Okay? Different coaches are looking for different things and how different guys play. So, I mean, Griff at Carson Newman's looking for something, Walter State looking for something else. So can I get a guy from my program that lines up with the values that college sees and give them the best chance of success?
Each player is a little bit different with where they project. So having those conversations with parents isn't the easiest sometimes if, the parent may think they project a different spot where they may be at right now. But just trying to have that honest communication with them and using the connections that I still have from being in the college game.
Well, I've had several reach high levels. I've had 7 play in the major leagues, and I've had 3 retire from the major leagues, and several D1 players, and it's all the same even in Cobb County here. You just go to work every day. You go to work, you work on your skills, you get better, and then you go put a performance on the field. And if you can do that and showcase your talent, somebody will be interested in looking at you.
Just being able to lead them down the path of the next level and corrugating all the financials and the portal would be the big thing on that this day and time.
That usually takes place during your high school season or during your winter and fall seasons, as far as helping guys look at schools and things like that. As far as playing, once they become juniors and seniors, they're usually on travel teams and they're usually playing in Georgia and all that. As far as promoting your guys that want to go play, we'll try to hook them up with, I'll tell you right now, I think junior college is the way to go, especially if this new transfer rule takes place and eligibility rule. So I try to direct a lot of our guys to come out of Gibbs to maybe, let's go play 2 years at Walters or Mississippi or somewhere like that, and figure out, how much you really want to do this.
I think it's all about finding the right fit. The college game this year, in the past 3 years, has changed tremendously. Every college is out there looking for something different. They've all kind of got their own characteristics or values that they're looking for. So when you get a guy come across your program, I feel like it's kind of like lining up to other places and seeing what they need, and then it's just having good relationships with those guys, letting them be able to trust you. College coaches want to they want to work on trust, so they got to know when you pick up the phone and call somebody that you're calling them for a good reason. So I think it's just building on trust, but bridging the gap is just standards and culture and value. You got to instill it, and you got to have it in your program, or they're not going to meet it at the next level.
That's one of our main goals as a coaching staff, is to identify what our players want out of their playing experience. If they have aspirations to go to the next level, to help them to get there as best as we can. What we'll do is we'll try to mimic a college program as much as we can through strength and speed work, our off-season program, our preseason program, and then the grind of the season when we're going 6 days a week, and also continuing to support our guys in the summertime in those moments when they're traveling back from their tournament games, to provide them opportunities to continue to grow in the middle of the week as well.
From my time coaching in college, I have a lot of friends that are still coaching in the college game. So the one thing that I try to do is I'll sit down with them and say, hey, make me a list of the levels that you think you can play at, have some self-evaluation, find 3 or 4 schools that have your major, that are close to home if you want to be close to home, or if you want to go far away or far away. But I want them also to take ownership of it. And so we also use platforms like Field Level and Be Recruited, because some guys want to go play. I have a kid this weekend going on a visit to Lakeland University in Wisconsin. He wants to leave home, and it's just a good fit, and so he's going on a visit there. One of the guys you talked to, Ben Paddock, he had a visit and got an offer from Union College in Kentucky. So, the guys take a lot of ownership in it, but I'm also willing to help however they need it. If they need a phone call to be made, if they need me to go on their visit with them because mom and dad can't get off work, we're going to do those things and take care of them. But I try to leave a lot of that ownership up to them, because I don't want them to go and play 4 years at a university or college and they feel like someone forced them to do it. I want it to be a good experience for them, and they go where they want to go and where they feel like it's home for them.
Obviously, I think this game is more than just the X's and O's and the talent and all that, right? It's the mental side. It's like Mikey and I had a big conversation this week. How do you prepare yourself mentally over everything else? How do you separate yourself that when moments are hard, how do you respond, right? How do you handle adversity? All those moments really what separate the great players. It's not, there's a bunch of guys out there that are really good, but who are the ones that can separate in tough times and really still perform at the highest level?
I try and get their names out if they let me know where they want to go to. Like JJ said, I think I've been doing this forever. 27 years at Oliver Springs, 29 overall. I know quite a few guys. Know Cam out at Roan State, Jim McGuire out at Vol State. I've got some contacts. If they want to play, I can get them opportunities. And once they get that opportunity, that's on them. But the main thing, and this is what I tell freshmen early on, you got to make grades. The days of, he's good, the grades don't matter, those days are gone.
Yeah, I think it's about relationships. It's about communicating with coaches. It's about having that experience myself. I know what it takes for those kids to get there, and just being connected in those communities is really important. So knowing coaches, talking to coaches, going to clinics and showcases and being a part of that world is an important piece. So because those coaches want to know from high school coaches as well as summer coaches, like, hey, can this guy make it in my program? And for us, like, we want to be honest with them. We want to give them an accurate picture, but that all starts off of having a relationship with them and building things from there.
Welcome back. Bridging the gap between greatness and a dream. Some coaches believe that it's all the players, but the real coaches know it takes them to help bridge that gap between greatness and a dream. Period. You're going to make the difference in the kid's life, and it's going to last forever. Continue to be great and doing what you're doing. Coaches, thank you for all the inspiration that you're giving these young men and opportunities that you're giving them to be able to bridge the gap between greatness and a dream. No, everybody's not going to be a professional player, that is. but every last one of them, with your guidance, can be a professional something. Make sure you are the one to bridge the gap between greatness and the dream for these young student athletes. I also asked the players, if there was one team you can smack, who would it be? I also asked the coaches, what do you think about the infamous transfer rule? But you'll find out about that after these messages. We'll be right back.
Commercial Metals Company is still a locally operated company that's serving the people of East Tennessee with convenient hours of operation. Commercial Metals buys all types of scrap metal. Nothing is too big or too small. Still have that old clunker sitting around? We've been buying them for years. Commercial Metals are specialists in commercial scrap. We have what it takes to get any size job done. Commercial Metals encourages you to recycle responsibly. Scrap with only licensed dealers. Member of the TSRA and the ISRI. Commercial Metals Company. Turn that scrap into cash.
In our community, everyone deserves access to quality health care. At the Free Medical Clinic, we offer no-charge medical services to those without insurance. There is never a bill at the Free Medical Clinic. From primary care, preventative care, diagnostics, and specialty care, our dedicated team is here to help. The Free Medical Clinic, taking your fear away from becoming sick or hurt. Go to fmcor.org to become a patient. Remember, there is never a charge for your care. fmcor.org.
Feeling overwhelmed with your business finances? At P&L Business Services, we handle all your bookkeeping, payroll, and tax needs. From federal tax returns to QuickBooks training, we've got you covered. With over 25 years of experience, we provide customized packages to fit your business. Focus on what you love most, building your business. Let us take care of the rest. Call 865-294-4792. P&L Business Services, empowering you to grow your business.
Exigent Sports. Hey, go ahead and make someone aware. Please share. As we talked about, I asked these players, who do you want to smack right now? But before we get to that, let's talk about the infamous transfer rule.
I think it's coming. I do. I think it's the way college sports in general, not just college football, college baseball, you're seeing the effects of it. I think it does affect a little bit of high school sports. I know we went to Florida this past season, and one of the coaches there were telling me they can play basketball, then they can move to baseball and play for another school in the same exact year. Don't even have to move schools. I hope it doesn't come to that. Hopefully they have to make a change of residence, something like that. Your better programs, the Farragut's of the world, they're going to get their guys. They're going to come just because of the talent they've got and the championships they've got. We've had a couple transfers come in. Luckily for us, they've done it the right way. They've moved in. We had a kid from Colorado coming in this year that's kind of fallen in our lap, who's got a lot of experience. So I think it's coming down the road. I just hope that they do it the right way.
I'm a community guy. I believe in, really going where you're zoned to help build your community, help build that school. If some of the best talent, if some of the best scholars continue to leave their neighborhood, especially if you feel like those schools are failing, then it's never going to get to that point that it needs to be at, because those grades that can really help shift the needle, they're not there. They're going to those thriving schools. And so somebody has to be that one that says, you know what, I'm going to stay. I want to do this for my community. I want to do this for my school. And it also lets those kids that's coming up behind them know, like, hey, I can go to this school and be successful.
How do you feel about the transfer rule at the high school level?
No. I mean, I'm probably in the minority with it, but, I feel like if I can take another job in Clinton, they should be able to maybe, if it's not the right fit for them, again, I'm probably in the minority with that, but, I don't want a kid to have to stay at a school that they don't want to be at. And, and again, I think there's got to be some limitations. There's got to be some rules. We can't have the Wild West out here where they're transferring 4 times in 4 years, but I don't have a problem with a one-time transfer, and as a parent of a kid, I've got an 11-year-old. Like, if I put my kid to a school and it's not working out, you only got 4 years to play high school sports. So I think they should be able to, at least one-time transfer and go out and play where they need to play.
Well, I don't know yet. I'm not really for it. We're a smaller school for Knox County, so it's going to be hard for us in the corner of the county, just us personally, to get many to come out there. There's not many jobs. Most of our people travel to West Knox for jobs, so we're kind of against it right now. I'm just not. At the same time, another thing is it going to turn into the same thing as college where guys are just jumping around? And I coach pretty hard. Are you going to say, well, no, I don't want to be coached. I just want to be told that I can just go play and jump somewhere else as soon as it gets hard. Okay, that's part of baseball or any sport. When it gets hard, okay, now I need to work harder. I need to grind a little more. Not I need to fold up and go somewhere else where I can just walk on the field.
I'm perfectly fine with the one-time transfer rule. I think if you do the one-time transfer rule, it would help eliminate some of the behind-the-scenes stuff that people may be doing, and I think it would give an advantage to the programs who have some stability and have coaches who are doing things the right way. So I'm all for it.
Well, my opinion on the transfer rule is going to be, if that's what they're going to do, that's what we're going to go with. I really don't have a strong opinion on it.
Well, I've always felt like, in my 35 years of coaches, if you don't want to play for me and you want to go somewhere else, then I think that's okay, because not everybody gets along with everybody, and I think the number one thing we have to do is the kids, we have to look out for them and what they want and what they need, and if I'm not providing that, I think the opportunity is somewhere else, then I think they should have that right to do that.
I see both sides. I have, and it's one of those, and this may strike a chord with some people, but I'm in public education, and I think it's going to hurt the public side, and I think it's going to enable the private side. And so I've got mixed emotions, and being a fledgling program that is building from the foundation up, I'm truly worried about it, because if we have a kid that we see special and he's young, who's going to come in and get him, because we're not winning any games yet. So I'm feeling a little pressure of trying to get us some success from opening day this year to prove that we're going in the right direction.
I always ask about the transfer rule. How do you feel? What is your opinion on the transfer rule?
Well, I don't like it. I think a lot of people would agree with that, but I think that's just the direction that we're going. There's not anything that's going to stop it, I don't think. So we're going to have to adopt something everybody can agree on and see how it plays out.
I'm 50-50. If you ask me tomorrow, I'll probably tell you the other side of the 50-50. At times I look at it and I think, okay, let's do that. And then, you look at what's going on in college, and it's just such a, wiffle waffle back and forth, people going to different places all the time. It's kind of hard to keep up with it. I think it will be a headache at first if it does pass. I think it'll be aggravating at first. It'll be something 10 years from now that we won't even pay attention to. We'll know it's a part of the way of life, and just that's the way it'll be.
Not real sure. It's new territory. I know that can, maybe be some dangerous territory in some ways, but also I understand that it could be good for a lot of schools. And if there are certain guys that aren't getting in lineups that at one school that they've been at, and they want their opportunity to play and don't see that happening at the school they're at, I think it could be a good option to have those kids, give those kids the ability to go elsewhere, and so they can get playing and be seen.
It's a difficult thing that obviously if it comes through is going to make coaching's jobs a lot harder. You understand the one side of it where, as a parent, if you've got a situation that's not good for your kid and you want to be in a better, you understand parents wanting what's best for their kids. But it also is difficult because sometimes dealing with something difficult is the best thing for your development. Always running away or going somewhere where it's going to be easier is not always the answer. And for these teenagers, sometimes, I'm not playing right now. Instead of let's go find somewhere I can, what do I got to do? What do I got to do myself to change that? Brings not only a lot of baseball development, but that's a life lesson.
The transfer rule can be a good thing and a bad thing for, depending on who's who. I believe in it. I think it's a good thing. It takes away from a lot of the aspects of, trying to get around processes and things like that players and parents do in communities. But at the same time, I think it's a good thing. The overall perspective of things, it can be a good thing.
50-50 for me. I can see benefit, but I can definitely see negative side of things. I think in high school it has no business. College level, all to your own. But for high schools, I think there's some importance to finding gritty athletes that want to stay and work. So I think it's think it's important that they see challenges early on in life and if figure out a way to work through it. So I think transfer portal in high school is unneeded at this time, but if it happens, we'll figure out a way to work through it.
It's a love-hate relationship, I think. I think that, for some kids, it makes sense to have that based off of their experience. As long as they're doing it for the right reason, I think, ultimately. The problem comes into it can affect, kind of that culture that you're trying to build in your program when guys have the option to leave that and just you're bringing new guys in. I think that could be some challenges there to maintain culture within your program and have your guys stay connected as a core group.
I think if it's used the right way, I think it's not a bad thing for high schoolers. I think for us, one of the things we've noticed, if we've had some kids transfer from bigger schools where we're a small school, we have 420 kids K through 12, so we're very small. But we have some kids that come from 1,000, 2,000 kid high schools that they're a good ball player, but they may be the 10th or 11th guy on the roster, and for us, they're a middle of the order bat or they're a top of the rotation guy, and it's giving them an opportunity to play baseball, play the game they love, and potentially reach those goals of playing at the next level or just getting that opportunity to play.
At a place like Oak Ridge, it's a good spot for us, right? It's good for us to have that. In certain other places, I think I'd be against it, but for us, I think there'd be some benefits of both sides, but that's going to be a whole community involvement. If that stuff goes through, that's going to take all of us in Oak Ridge being on the same page to really what winning athletic programs look like. So we got to steal things from other programs who are doing it right? And kind of do those things. But I'm kind of for it, to be honest.
I think the 1 year free transfer may be a good idea, but I'm not for full-blown transfers. I think there needs to be some rails on it. There needs to be some guidelines. It's not just, coach yelled at me today, or I wanted to bat in the 3-hole and I'm batting in the 5-hole. I'm gone. I think especially freshmen, they need to get that first year through, and then if they see that they want to go someplace else and do their research, go somewhere else. But you got to be careful. Just because the grass is green, it may not be green. It may be concrete that's painted green, or it may be a sewer line.
Yeah.
Sewer lines have real green grass.
I think I support it. I think if a kid's not happy and, something happens for the family that's better for them, they need to explore that. And, so I'm all for it. It's just the times we live in now. Things are a lot different. And, if we're still living, 10 years ago, then, we're sort of behind everybody else. So I do support the transfer rule.
I think it's coming. I think it's going to be something that's going to happen for us in our school. I think we support it. I think we'd be in favor of it. And, everything's kind of trickling down from the higher levels. Like you've seen NIL in college. You see the transfer portal in college. NIL's made its way down to high school ball in a way. And I think you're going to see that with transfer portal eventually as well as the one-time transfer rules and those things. I know there's a lot of discussion around it. We'll operate in whatever way the state says we need to operate, but I have a feeling that that's something that we're going to see at some point in the future.
Oh, Clinton. Or Gibbs.
100% Gibbs.
Fulton.
Smack. I got to go with the rivals, Farragut.
Farragut. High school or like what you
High school.
Oak Ridge.
Oak Ridge?
Yep.
No doubt, that's the team.
Oak Ridge.
Probably, I don't know. Probably Seymour.
Seymour?
Yeah, probably Seymour.
All right.
Gibbs or Seymour?
Gibbs or Seymour?
Like high school or college?
High school.
Oh, high school, Oak Ridge, 100%.
Got you.
Definitely Oak Ridge. Yes, sir. They got us last year. We got them the year before. We're going to get them this year.
I ain't got a team. I just want back to the state tournament. That's my goal. Get back to the state tournament and have a chance to win it. So,
One team we could smack. Definitely Seymour.
Definitely Northview.
I'm going to have to go with Northview, too.
Northview.
We could smack?
GP.
I'll say Austin East. Yeah.
They're here today.
I seen them.
Yeah.
I seen them over there.
Anderson County.
Anderson County.
Like high school?
Yeah.
CAK.
CAK. Wow.
It's team or school rival.
Yeah.
District team.
CAK.
CAK. Same thing, rival.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Cool.
Probably Greenville.
Greenville. Tell me why.
Just, I don't know.
Just that team?
Yeah, just that team.
Smack any team?
Any team.
It'd have to be Powell. I'm sorry, it'd have to be Powell.
Yeah.
Probably Oak Ridge. They're our hardest opponent so far.
I love them.
Farragut.
Just like Colton said right here, Farragut.
Halls. We want them. We want them.
Halls.
Definitely Halls.
Yeah. Farragut.
Probably Farragut.
I was told not to call any teams in particular, so I'm going to hold my tongue on that one. Okay.
So I'm going to reverb the question. If there was one team you would be excited to play this year, who would it be?
Oh, excited? I'd probably say either Alcoa or Carter. Yeah, Alcoa or Carter.
Powell.
Powell.
Cofield. Definitely Cofield.
Absolutely.
Smack? Oak Ridge. You gotta be Oak Ridge, yeah.
Team you smack right now?
Oak Ridge. Oak Ridge. They put us out last year, so I don't know. I'm just hoping we get a chance to play them again. Great team and great competition, which I love.
Other than Oak Ridge, I'd have to say Morristown West.
McMinn Central.
Either McMinn Central or Loudon Redskins.
Catholic.
I gotta agree with my teammate Asher, Catholic. Yep.